Men, everybody, get checked out. Because if it wasn't for me getting tested for something else, they wouldn't have stumbled up on this. And make sure you get the right care, because without wonderful people like this, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today, because it grew so expeditiously, I could say. But please get yourself checked out, especially African-American men. We don't like going to the doctors. We don't like nothing to do with a doctor. You know that. So I'm not just talking to the brothers. I'm talking to my Caucasian brothers, my Hispanic brothers, my Asian brothers, my everybody, and my sisters. And that's all, y'all. Get checked out.
How did you ultimately find out about the cancer?
I was going for the natural checkup of the blood clots through my foot and my leg, and they came back and said, they told my trainer, Lauren, we need to see Coach again because something's coming up on the x-rays. And they found something, then it was like, oh Lord, so now we got to have a surgery to make sure, see what that is. And from that time, it was growing so rapidly, man. It was growing like crazy. They could explain it a lot better than I can. But it was growing so rapidly, we had to do something quickly.
Hey, yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. As you already know, the other day, Coach Prime, aka Deion Sanders, came out and dropped a bomb on everybody when he let everybody know that he had been diagnosed, treated, and cured of bladder cancer. According to Coach Prime, he had just gone to the doctor to do a few routine tests for some chronic issues that he's been having over the years. And while he was there, they ran some tests and they just happened to stumble upon the fact that he had the big C. They weren't looking for it, he didn't know that he had it, they just happened to find it. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but all cancers aren't the same, and some forms of cancer are more aggressive than others. So, they told Deion Sanders that he had a mad aggressive form of cancer, and he needed to do something about it right away. So, instead of just having the doctors remove the cancerous tumor, he decided to go ahead and have his whole entire bladder removed. And I know, somebody out there is like, yo, Source, why remove the whole bladder though? It's because cancer's not stationary in the body. Once those cancerous cells form and they turn into a tumor because of an overproliferation of cells, those cells will grow and grow and grow until they leave the space where they're at and migrate to other areas of the body. So what a lot of doctors like to do is remove the tumor and all of the tissues around it so that you can make sure that the cancer didn't leave those margins. And in this case, Coach Prime's doctor said that when they looked at the cancer, it started to migrate, so they thought it would be best to remove the whole bladder.
We removed the tumor. It was very high grade, invading through the bladder wall, not into the muscle layer, something we call very high risk, non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. So we did discuss options. We discussed some options of treatment in the bladder, and we discussed bladder removal as well. Given his commitments to his family and to the team, elected to undergo a bladder removal. We performed a full robot-assisted laparoscopic bladder removal and creation of a new bladder. And I am pleased to report that the results from the surgery are that he is cured from the cancer.
All right, so I know somebody out there is like, Source, I didn't know they had a cure for cancer. What they're basically saying is that as of right now, after they remove the bladder, they no longer see cancer in Deion Sanders' body. Now, does this mean that it'll never return? No, it doesn't. But what it does mean is that as of this point, after they did the surgery, when they looked at Deion Sanders' scans and also took a few of his lymph nodes out of his body to see if the cancer had spread to his lymphatic system, they cannot find any cancer in Deion Sanders' body.
Seems like this is like a routine now. I've been here so much. I think Lauren said this is surgery number 14. Something like that. That hadn't really hit me yet, that what I'm here for. Hit me a little bit yesterday because
I thought the whole point of this procedure was so it wouldn't be recurrent.
Correct. But if we find something we're not expecting, like especially something in the lymph nodes, that could change the risks of recurrence a lot. That's why we moved it from, because there's about a 5 to 10% chance with the pathology we started with that there's something in the lymph nodes.
So with that, when you just mentioned pathology again.
Never doubt. you go, my man.
Doc, what's up?
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Can't complain.
Good, how are you guys? Things considered? Yeah. Good. Yeah. I'm gonna be your nurse throughout your procedure.
Everybody got to perk up right here. I can't be the only one come back. All good in there? Everybody good?
We're all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I need to hear.
All right. So this is where we're gonna part ways with you guys, okay?
Good night. Dealing with
Now, after Deion Sanders came out of his surgery A-OK, he did a press conference in which he said that even though now he has to depend on depends, he's given all praises to God.
I mean, thank God. I depend on depend. You know, if you know what I mean. I truly depend on depend. Like I cannot control my bladder. So I get up to go to the bathroom already 4 or 5 times a night. But then I'm sitting up there, waking up, you know, like my grandson. We in the same thing. We got the same problem right now. We going through the same trials and tribulations. We're trying to see who has the heaviest bag at the end of the night. Like it's ridiculous. But I'm making a joke out of it, but it's real. Like it is real. It is real. It is real. So if you see porta potty on the sideline, it's real. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see the practice. You're gonna see one because it is unbelievable. Like dozing off and waking up on first thing, I'm grabbing my crotch to see if I peed on myself. It has been a tremendous journey, and I'm truly thankful that God is so good. God is so good. You have no idea. You have no idea how good God has been for me to be here. You have no idea. I never once through this whole journey said, God, why me? Because I would have to say, God, why me and you sit me up here in front of these wonderful people? Why you give me the position of the head football coach of the prestigious university? Why you allow me to father 5 wonderful kids? Why you give me these relationships with these wonderful people? Why me, Lord? Did I have some of the things that I have? I can never say that. I can never say the other side because I'm going to have to ask that. I said, Lord, whatever it is that you're doing, let me know what it is so I could expedite the process. Because I know you got me. I've seen you have my back. I've seen you there in the midst of storms when nobody knew I was going through hell. I've seen you guide me and bring me through. Lord, I would never say why me, but let me know what I need to do so that I can help. And there's some people out there right now dealing with the same issue, affected by that C word that we usually, when we hear that word, is normally a life sentence attached to it. But not this time. But not this time. Because God got me.
Now, after Deion Sanders explained that he was over there going through a Job experience, but God brought him out of the fire like he was Daniel in a lion's den with Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, a whole lot of people in the black community started praising God like this. And some people in the white community started praising God like this.
As we move with God, His power lies within, giving us the strength give the Christ in me. Believe that the real light is the key to the...
Yo, why did they have the Destiny's Child breakdown? Anyhow, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button while I tell you this. One person who I'm sure is happy that Deion Sanders is okay, but will definitely not be praying to the God that's illustrated in the Christian Bible is Toni Braxton. Because the other day, Tamar Braxton was talking to her sister and she was like, listen, I gotta go because I gotta read my Bible. And Toni Braxton was like, yo, what in the world are you reading the Bible for? Don't you know that the Bible was written by a racist white person?
Okay, I gotta call you back. I'm about to have Bible study.
Why?
Because I'm saved. And I read the word. Because it's important to know the word. How else we gonna battle all these demons and witchcraft? How else you gonna do it?
There are other books.
Girl, get off of my phone, girlfriend. Get off of my phone. I'll call you back.
I mean, that book was written by racist white.
Girl, goodbye, girl. I'll call you in an hour. Y'all, let me get off the mama. She be on the shame. It would kill me.
Okay, so after people heard what Toni Braxton had to say to her sister about the Bible, the comment section went crazy. And one person said, these celebrities will learn, every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess. And then somebody else said, when the history of the stories in it prove to be false, we can converse about it. But for me and mines, we'll serve the Lord Yahweh Jesus Christ and look to his instruction for guidance. Be blessed, folks. And then after that, somebody else said, people are entitled to believe whatever they want to believe. As for me, I believe in Jesus Christ and the Bible. After that, somebody else added, I agree that the Bible has been altered. However, I believe it's a good moral guide. I believe Jesus died for my sins. I love God. I don't believe everything in the Bible is real or God's word. I only know the miracles that God has done for me. And then, last but not least, somebody else came through and said, wow, Toni Braxton is really out here buying into the propaganda and going against God. That's crazy. Tamar better stay prayed up. Listen, all I'm going to say about this is, 1, Toni needs to realize that the Bible was not written by one person. It was written by 40 authors over a period of 1,600 years. So, you got to get those facts straight. And 2, my name is Bennett, and I'm not in it. But it does look like Tamar and Toni are going to be in 2 different places when God blows that trumpet and it's all said and done. But let's rewind the tape and get back to Deion Sanders, because I know darn well that somebody out there's like, sauce, I know darn well that you're just not going to try to gloss over the fact that when Deion Sanders was in that hospital, Chris Brown's ex-girlfriend, Karruche Tran, was sitting by his bedside.
Shout out to Deion Sanders. You were battling cancer. You're now cancer-free. Prayers up. You're doing fine. But Karruche? You hard launched Karruche? Okay, fam, where were you when you learned that Deion Sanders beat cancer and is beating down Karruche? Where were you? Because I was here watching this video.
So yeah, we are here to fully remove the bladder.
When she said fully remove the bladder, we're here to fully remove the bladder, I was like, is she a nurse now? But then I saw the way she was crying and shit. I was like, nah, she taking from Coach Prime. Look at Coach Prime. At first I was like, ugh, that's weird. Shouldn't she be dating Shadura or Shiloh? But then I looked up her age and she's 37. So yeah, girl, it's time to give up the coat head R&B guys, the thug rappers, and the NFL players who don't have any money. Sorry, Victor. And get you a rich old head who can't go anywhere. Where he going with no bladder? In that house. So you go, Karruche. Shout out to Coach Prime. He's right on time. W's in the chat.
Now, after people realized that Coach Prime was dating Chris Brown's ex, Karruche Tran, a whole lot of people had something to say. And one person said, is Hollywood a small town? Because the way everyone dates the same 12 people. And then somebody else was like, it's a plot twist every day. And then after that, somebody else said, you're worried about the wrong thing. Fully remove the bladder. As a nurse, that's all I heard. Sending prayers for Deion. And then, last but not least, somebody else said, we all confused as hell right now, but wishing him well during this difficult time. Alright, so after scrolling through the comment section, it appears that most people are really confused because they're over there wondering what in the world would Chris Brown's ex ever have in common with Coach Prime. Listen, let me tell you what they have in common. He's a man, she's a woman. Maybe it's just me, but I don't see it as a big deal. I mean, it's a bit strange because I view Deion Sanders and Chris Brown in such very different lights, but at the end of the day, they're both adults, and if they want to be together and they're happy, then so be it. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Karruche Tran, but what I'll say is this. There was no guarantee that Coach Prime was going to get up off that operating table, but as you can see, that woman, whether you like it or not, was right there by his side, and it appears that she's been by his side through hell and high waters. So, God bless them both as they navigate through this difficult time. I mean, it's not like he's Shannon Sharp and she's the 18-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Karruche's like 37 now, so I don't understand what all the buzz is about. But since we mentioned Shannon not so sharp, let me show you what Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco had to say about Deion's diagnosis, press conference, and his prognosis.
We knew Coach Prime was dealing with something. He didn't show up to his camps that he was supposed to put on. Yeah. He didn't show up to the spring thing. So there's a lot of things going on that led people to believe that there was something seriously going on with Prime. We didn't know what it was. We just knew at a later date in time, the way that he's always been, he's going to be very forthcoming. He's going to tell you exactly what was going on, how long it's been going on, and what the treatment or whatever he needed to do to get taken care of. When he had the, Ocho, remember he had the amputation. He had some of his toes removed, and he had and he was in dire straits in that situation. And he came, once he started feeling better, he came and he told exactly what was happening. And so I always felt that I didn't know what was going on, but I knew it was serious. Because a lot of time I would send him a text and I just get like one or two words back. Same thing, kind of like what happened at Jackson State. So I knew it was serious, and I just left it alone. I said, now when he's in a better place and a good frame of mind, he'll be back to time joking and laughing. But when he's not joking and laughing, I know it's something serious because he's that type of guy. He's a very fun-loving, very outgoing guy. I'm just glad they caught this in time. They were able to catch what it was, remove it, and get him all treated up. And I'm glad Coach Prime, everybody here at Nightcap is sending our thoughts and prayers to you, and glad you're feeling better, bro. But guys, go get it done. Go get tested. Because Ocho, I'm a prostate cancer survivor, and prostate cancer is one of the more curable if detected early. That's why early screening and detection is very, obviously if it runs in your family, but go get tested. I'm in a high percentile. My father died of cancer. His brothers, he had two other brothers that died of cancer. So I'm already in that high percentile. Yes, sir. So I didn't wait till the age. They said, we'll start getting tested at age 40. Nah, bro, I started getting tested like at 33, 34. And they were able to detect it, end up getting a colonoscopy and finding out that I had it, and I got it treated, diagnosed in 2016, got treated in 2017, and I've been cancer-free ever since. Ocho, but when you got the news that Coach Prime had really gone through something really, really serious, what was the first thoughts that go through your mind?
Well, obviously, I said prayers right away. I said prayers right away for him, understanding that I knew it was something serious. For the simple fact there was some things that he missed that he couldn't attend. And I know if he couldn't attend certain events that they had planned for Colorado, I knew something was wrong. So finding the news out today, I'm glad he did get it checked out in time. And listen, Prime been through his trials and tribulations, as he always says. He says every time God is using him as that messenger. To be able to give fellas, as he said, all ethnicities an opportunity to get that message out. Go get checked. Go get checked. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body, and make sure you're okay.
Listen, even though I don't agree with Shannon Sharp when it comes to his dating habits, he's absolutely right about this. Cancer's absolutely beatable for men and women, but you gotta catch it early. Therefore, it's imperative that people get tested and get tested regularly. For men, get your prostate checked. Women, get your mammographies and your pap smears done annually or biannually, depending on your age and what your doctor says. And everybody, get your colons checked, because if you catch it at 0 or stage 1, then they can cure it. But the longer you wait, the harder it gets.
Guess who just got their colonoscopy? Deion Sanders, head coach of the University of Colorado football team and an NFL legend, just posted on social media about getting his colonoscopy for colon cancer screening. Now, I really hope this is Deion's second colonoscopy because he's 56 and colon cancer screening starts at age 45. But regardless, I love that he's spreading awareness about colon cancer screening because young onset colon cancer is on the rise. Remember, there's lots of different options out there for colon cancer screening. Let me know your questions in the comments.
Now, here's some bad news. Every year, cancer is becoming more and more prevalent in the black community, whether it runs in your family or not. So, you can't just say, oh, nobody in my family had it, so I'm good. Because contrary to popular belief, irregardless of genetics, you might be the first one in your family to get it. But the good news is this. Doctors have come a long way, and they've also come up with a number of successful treatments that can cure certain cancers like bladder cancer, prostate cancer, and breast cancer. But, like I said before, you gotta catch it early. And I know, somebody's gonna come in the comment section like, nah, Source, you wrong. Because if they could do something about breast cancer, then Ananda Lewis wouldn't have died. Listen, like I just said, you gotta catch it early. Because Ananda Lewis opted not to go for annual mammograms due to fear of radiation exposure, she didn't realize that she had breast cancer until her cancer was already at stage 4 and had already metastasized, which means spread to other areas of the body. Therefore, her treatment options were limited, and in retrospect, Ananda Lewis clearly admitted that she regretted not getting tested regularly because if she had, the outcome might have been different.
So, not doing mammograms, which was a huge mistake because my mom had breast cancer and I knew my chances of experiencing it were higher because there was not a genetic link that we found so far, but certainly a genetic history. So I should have been doing it, and I wasn't for all kinds of reasons, one of which being my idea about the radiation, which is, not completely false, but completely foolish. If you're talking about your health being your priority, sometimes you have to take a little bit of something you don't want to get a bigger benefit. And had I been doing mammograms, now the recommendation is 40. I hear they just changed it again, right? So I think at the time it was 45, but anyway, had I been doing them as I should have, they would have found this lump before I did, and the path out of this probably would have been a little easier, but nevertheless, that's how I found it. Women, and most black women have higher kind of fibrous breasts, they call it. So I have a lot of granular feeling lumpy things in my breast anyhow. So sometimes it's difficult to tell the difference between what's what. When I felt the tumor that I then months later found out was actual cancer, it felt different. And I was like, oh, it stops you. You go, oh, that's different. And then you have to figure out, your path forward. So my path forward started with way more integrated or way more what we call alternative. I call it natural. And unfortunately, I didn't have the early detection. So I didn't have the benefit of time being on my side.
Let me tell you something, we definitely miss Ananda Lewis, but her life wasn't in vain because she left the world, especially the black community, with insights that can save countless lives going forward. But as a community, we have to listen and learn from the experiences of Ananda and Coach Prime and make those doctor's appointments. Don't just look at the TV and say, yo, that's effed up, R.I.P. Ananda, or I'm praying for Prime. Call your doctor and schedule a visit. Listen, let me know what you think about everything that we discussed in today's video, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Peace.